following show features stupid opinions and ideas from two idiot brothers who probably did little research and practiced zero due diligence on the topic at hand. The MLO Bros' opinions do not reflect the views of their employer, guests, sponsors, families, neighbors, or pets. If you do not like what they are saying and don't agree with their views or opinions, don't watch the show. We can promise we do not care. Welcome to the worst show on the internet.
There we go. We're live. What's up?
Hey.
Welcome to the MLO Bros Worst Podcast on the internet. We are going to dive into some stuff today that's been on our minds. Please note, we are idiots.
We're dumb.
We are going to give our opinion. It's our opinion. You just heard the waiver. So if you disagree with us, you can disagree with us. You can agree with us. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I hope.
I wanted to, when we ran the waiver tonight, I wanted to put flashlights.
Yeah.
Over and
yeah.
over
Because
so
we're going to
people
talk. We're going to do it right away. We're going to talk about school security because I have some opinions on all of that.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about it. I want to hear everybody else's opinion. And then when you talk about school security, what I found out online is, and we're going to do this again in a little bit, you start diving into the freaking crazy ass gun control, crazy ass gun right people. And it's like, it's like Democrat, Republican. It's the same freaking thing.
Yeah.
And they get all freaking crazy and they don't use their freaking brains because they're so stubborn to one side. But sorry, I'm already going on it.
No,
but we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
You're 100% right. Because
So,
they just regurgitate what they hear on the news and then dig their feet in because they're like, my people believe
exactly.
So gross.
Exactly.
It's so gross.
It grosses me out.
Yeah.
And they start using tragedy like the school shooting in Texas to push their agenda and push their views. And it's bullshit.
Yeah.
So
and
again,
then they try and make you feel like a bad person either way.
Like, they just said, wait, we're not talking about golf carts.
We can?
Let's talk about golf carts. You know what? We're going to start with that first, Jose. That's a great topic.
So I would love golf carts and polo. I have no problem. Other than, did you hear what happened last week?
Well, hold on.
Did we talk about that?
Let's set the stage here. Hold on. Before we talk about that, let's set the stage. So there is these freaking kids. It's Lucas's friends. I'm gonna pick up. Take me off your phone, you little punks. My number. Take me off. Do you guys call me again? I'm calling your parents. They keep calling my cell phone. All right, so let's talk about golf carts. Golf carts in Poland was brought up by now departing Anthony Latanzio of the city council, of the village council, was really pushing for golf carts, and there were people who agreed with him. Yeah. And in Poland, do you think, and people up here, if you're a Poland resident, if you're not, maybe just drive through Poland. Do you think Poland could be a golf cart community? Isaac?
I don't know how you do it with 224. You're not trying to divide the community. How do you not divide the village? The 224 literally divides the village. So unless you create, a land bridge, we create a bridge over top of 224. You know how much that will cost? But unless you have that, but why would you go about doing all that if you have nowhere to go?
Well,
with said golf carts.
Right. So it's like, so think about it. So let's say you live over on Delaware, like my in-laws.
Yeah, you live on with Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, where Isaac lives. You're going to drive your golf cart.
Yeah.
Okay. Down the road.
Yeah.
Turn on to Main Street, aka 170, which isn't a slow road either.
Yeah.
But wait, you're not allowed to go onto the main roads, they said. That was one of the rules.
So you have to stick to back streets. So you'll go all the way across over to where
you're allowed to cross Main Street.
Yeah. So you would cross the Main Street. You'd go down by the graveyard. Yeah. You'd have to. Well, are you riding the sidewalk or are you going through the graveyard?
I don't know. We gotta get a councilman on it because I don't know. We gotta get somebody on it.
Or you could go around, go the back way towards like the church, and then go.
So like events, you could go to Celebrate Poland. You could go to our June 10th event.
Great. Two events. 2 events with golf carts.
In the park.
What you need to do is
you
need restaurants. You need more attractions.
Maybe bars.
Oh, don't you?
Maybe a bar.
Oh,
maybe
careful there, sir. But you need more
golf carts in Poland.
You have O'Donut coming to Poland.
Congratulations, by the way. Huge news. O'Donuts, our friend O'Donuts, is going to be setting up a shop in you have the guy standing with the statue and the flag.
Yeah.
In the yellow building on the other side of the little cut through.
The guy who originally settled Poland.
Yeah, I think his name was
and he found Sasquatch.
Robert Polanski.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's I think it was Polanski.
Yeah, he actually founded the tavern too.
Yeah, he had a bar and a brothel at the tavern.
At the tavern,
Yeah.
which
could be a bar.
Want to talk about historical accuracy and how the old Poland people are all about like preserving history.
I agree.
Make the tavern a goddamn tavern, man. If that's the case, make the tavern a tavern.
Paul Sherman, who's renting it, is going to buy. I thought he owned it. He's renting it.
Make the tavern a tavern.
I told him, I called him because I thought he owned it. I was like, dude, I'll buy that building off you right now.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, it's not mine. And he's like, I'm in line to buy it first. And I was like, Paul Sherman will put a bar in there.
Yeah. Make historical preservation, make the tavern a tavern, or else you're hypocrites.
Yeah, exactly. Isaac, can you get a haircut?
Yeah, dude. I started getting this fade in 2015.
It's way better than your bowl cut I posted on Facebook the other day.
O'Keel gets copied it in 2015, and that's why O'Keel.
All right.
Robert Santos.
Robert Santos. Yeah, seriously, if they call me one more time,
call their parents live.
So they did it again.
They did. I heard it.
I'm gonna call these freaking kids' parents.
Don't do it live. I don't think they'd be cool with public humiliation of their children.
They need to learn. Who are these people? Look at this list I'm on. There's 30 freaking people. It's my kids' friends put me on my cell phone on the list.
What grade's Lucas? Fourth?
Fifth. So these kids all have cell phones. Here's a good topic. Should a fifth grader have a cell phone?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, seriously. This is why you can't have cell phones. I don't need to cross the. I live right on the right side of Pool, and I can go to Handles. That's what I mean. Okay, yeah. So O'Keel gets, should a fifth grader have a cell phone? Yeah, Robert Santos says no. There's no way. Yeah. I'm not buying my kid a cell phone.
I wasn't allowed a cell phone until 7th grade. Now, cell phones were different back then. It was just calling and texting. All we did was text. But 7th grade, when you could go to sports, on your own, and your parents had to leave you there.
You know what I used to do?
What?
Because we didn't have cell phones.
Yeah,
I would use the payphone.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hit collect.
Okay.
Call the home phone and say, it'd be like the collect. When you call collect, it'd say, please state your name and please state your name for the person, and they will accept it. So I'd call it, and I would be it was, you know what I'm say. So it says, please say your name. I'd be like, Dad, I'm ready. Come get me. Then he'd come and drive and get me. Yeah, it was beating the system.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people did that, to be honest. No, Akil, I disagree, buddy. I don't think fifth graders need phones. Why would they need a phone?
When are they ever alone?
They don't walk anywhere.
Yeah.
Lucas started walking on Fridays to with his friends, the Handles, and then Maggie picks him up or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they don't go.
Well, if he's doing that, I would argue. If I were Lucas, I would argue you. I'd say you don't want me to disappear.
You know what I did?
What?
I stuffed an Apple tag in his book bag.
That's a good call.
I actually told him.
I'm gonna need you to swallow this.
Did I tell you that? I actually told him. He's like
Apple tag.
Like Maggie and I were really torn if we were gonna let our fifth grader walk down through 224 down. They were gonna walk down 224 to Dairy Queen. It's a haul. It's a haul.
That's a hike,
right? So we're arguing if we're gonna let him or not. And some parents are obviously way cooler than us and letting their kids do this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't trust my kid. I trust him, but I don't trust him.
So my argument from Lucas's perspective would be, Dad, if I don't have a phone, how is the Apple tag supposed to track me?
Well, I can. His friends all have phones, so I can track. It picks it up. So an Apple tag, you can pick it up.
Yeah.
So what I did was they play games on every PlayStation and every.
They can play it on an iPad.
Yeah,
an iPad's
he has an
thing.
iPhone. Yeah. But anyways, so I said, okay, fine. I will do. Maggie was like, let him do it. I'm like, I don't really trust him because I was bad as a kid, and I'm just thinking somebody's gonna throw a freaking rock at a car, and then it's gonna be a freaking, everybody knows us, so it's kind of different.
Yeah.
So in the morning, I pull Lucas in, and I'm like, okay, Lucas, I'm gonna let you do this, and you could I'm gonna let you walk with your friends to Dairy Queen, and I said, I don't think it's a very good idea, but I'm trusting you. I'm trusting your friends. He goes, oh my gosh, you could see him light up. And then I'm like, and again, me being.
I was always excited for the opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. It's a chance. Yeah, you're letting the leash go, so the kid's getting excited.
Yeah, I want to prove myself.
So as I do that, and so he's like, "Oh my gosh, Dad, I'll be good. I promise." Oh, by the way, pull out the Apple tag. I had it in my pocket. I'm like, I'm gonna need you to swallow this. Okay, wait. He grabs it, and I'm not kidding you. He's sitting there. He's like, looking at me. I'm like, dude, I'm kidding. He was legitimately contemplating. He wanted to go so bad.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, it might be worth it. It might be worth it to swallow the tag. So
There are 33 people watching this right now.
Let's go.
If you could, down below, give us a thumbs up or a heart or an angry face, whatever you're feeling.
They're all waiting they're all waiting for the school security talk.
We'd appreciate
everybody.
you supporting us. Helps get more people in here.
Did O'Keel just give us stars?
Keel, I'm sending your stars back.
Yeah,
I don't want your
we don't
stars,
want your stars,
sir.
O'Keel.
But
yeah, please like it. Okay, so I guess are we gonna get into this?
But back to the golf carts though.
Okay,
right?
go to the golf carts.
So last week we had an interesting thing happen in Poland.
What happened?
Last weekend.
Oh,
I was walking.
This is a great story. Listen to the story, everyone. This is
walking,
amazing.
I was walking. I had my buddy in town from Pittsburgh, and we do this thing where we go all around Youngstown and try all this new food. So we did that, and we're like, hey, we're gonna go for a walk. So we walk around the village. We walk all around the village, like 3 miles, and as we're walking down, what's the road over there by the church that like cuts through to get back to Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
So we're walking on Pennsylvania, and this dude on a Polaris or on an ATV comes flying by us, and Billy actually turns and says, "Dude, like chill out. Like I'm walking here."
Was it an adult?
It was an adult and two kids.
Okay.
So Billy like turns and is like, "What the heck, man? You're gonna hit me."
Yeah.
So flies by.
All right.
And then we walk down Pennsylvania, get on to Massachusetts, start heading down Massachusetts, and we get all the way down to my condo at the end of Massachusetts, and a village officer like rolls up behind us, flashes his lights, and goes, and I'm
with
like,
his horn
while
you're walking.
So I turn around and I like go up to his window, knock on his window.
Wait, so he did that and didn't get out of the car?
No, so I go up to his window, knock on his window. I'm like, what's going on, dude? And he's like, hold on one second.
Was he on his phone?
Like, on his phone. He's like, hold on one second. And he's like on his phone. And I'm like, all right. And I'm sitting there. And then he like opens the door and like pokes his head out. And he's like, hey, Isaac. I'm like, no, he didn't even say Isaac. He just goes, hey, do you want a Polaris? I'm like, what's a Polaris? I didn't even know. And he's like an ATV. And he's like an ATV. He's like, somebody said you're driving around the village in an ATV running through people's yards.
Wait, somebody said you?
Yeah. And I'm like, what? He's like, somebody said you. And I'm like, me, like by name? He's like, yeah, someone called us and said you were on an ATV riding through people's yards. And I'm like, dude, I live in a condo. Like, I don't own an ATV.
So somebody turned you in. So you almost get hit by the ATV and they must have thought it was you.
So then I'm like, but honestly, man, we were just over by like the church, and we were walking on the road, and an ATV came by us. It was like a dude,
right?
And then he had like 2 girls with him, and he's like, what color was it? I'm like, it was like orange and black, red and black, or something. He's like, that matches up. You're good. What the hell, man?
So somebody
called me out by name.
It's probably one of those 33 people watching us right now.
So then,
whoever it is. Come clean. Who turned us in?
O'Keel said, "Stop snitching." So O'Keel,
stop snitching.
O'Keel, here, click on his comment.
Good luck. Stop snitching.
So then
Snitches.
I'm like, me and Billy like turn around, start walking. We're like, what the hell just happened?
What?
Like somebody by name. So then that's when I made that post where I'm like, hey, whoever's on the ATV. So the police are looking for you. I suggest going home. Yeah. And whoever turned me in and called me out by name, I hope you have a barbecue tonight. And it rains. Yeah. So then we go to the next we go to like another place to eat dinner or whatever, and I see the dude on the ATV, and I'm like, I like wave him down.
Oh, you did talk to him?
I talked to him. The reason somebody thought it was me, it was like a light-haired dude, had a beard like me, and that backwards hat on.
Wait, you saw the guy though?
So I went up to the guy. I'm like,
wait, you saw him on the roads?
Yeah. So I stopped him. I'm like, dude, go home. The cops are looking.
Yeah.
And he confronts me. And he's like, dude, I drove by you guys and I talked to truck cop about it, and we're fine. I'm cool with truck cop. We're buddies.
Yeah.
He's fine. He said, you guys said we almost hit you. And I'm like, you were kind of close, man. he's like, he said you turned me in. I was like, dude, I didn't turn you in, but you got awfully close to us.
So wait, so then truck cop told them that you turned him in.
Yeah, so the truck cop says, "Hey, you almost." Isaac said you almost hit him, and I'm like, you didn't you got pretty damn close, dude.
That is funny.
But he's like, yeah, it's handled, it's fine. But the thing that makes me the most mad is the lady on Facebook.
Yeah, whoever.
So then she made that post.
How do you know it's a lady?
Because I saw her name, and then she made that post.
Wait, you saw her name?
Who made the post? So somebody on Facebook
made a
made
post.
a post.
You think it was her that did it? You can't
I
prove
think it was.
Okay.
I can't prove it, but
Okay.
a lady on Everything Poland made a post that was like, "Hey, if you own an ATV and you're driving through people's yards in Poland, the cops are looking for you."
Right.
And then you commented on it and said, "Hey, Isaac, good job," because I already told you the story. And then I was like, "Yeah, dude, my condo, the HOA is real cool about ATVs. They let me park it in my parking lot."
What in God's name? It is so funny.
And then she deleted it.
She did delete it,
Yeah,
which is kind of guilty.
she probably saw my post
I wouldn't
too.
be surprised. Yeah,
But
so that was really funny.
Says that's a beard.
That's a beard. Yeah,
trimmed.
you need to see Deshaun's beard. Deshaun's got a
I
beard.
just got it trimmed, dude.
He's got a man beard. All right, hold on. Back to the cell phones with kids. When my boys get into sports, where there will be multiple places at different times that will get phones. Now let's talk about what we're all here for. Okay, let's talk about it. You ready, Isaac? Because that's why everybody's here. Okay, so school security. Let's dive into this. Everybody's heard, but there was a horrendous shooting in Texas.
Yeah.
Kids died. You know what I mean? It was awful. Guy went in with a automatic weapon or semi-automatic weapon.
Yeah.
Killed a couple teachers. Killed a bunch of little kids. It was brutal. I mean, brutal. Like fourth graders that were throwing balls at us at the dunk tank.
It's terrible. Yeah. It was elementary kids.
It was elementary kids.
Yeah.
And what has to happen to make this stop? Right? That's what's in my head. That's what there's so many different levels and different things you can look at in different ways you can look at it. You can look at it like everybody needs to turn their guns in.
Yeah.
You need to turn your guns in. No one has guns and gun control. Not even that. And then there is also on that side, you can have guns, but you can't have AR-15s and that kind of stuff. Yeah. Right.
So,
well, let me go.
Yeah. And then the
other side is arm everybody.
Yeah.
Arm teachers.
Yeah.
Arm principals.
Yeah.
Arm everybody. And then that way they'll stop. And then, as always, I think I am more of a gray area in the middle, which makes sense because I take these people and I made comments on Facebook just to see what would happen. Yeah. And I got crazy people on this side and I got crazy people because like I said, when we started,
absolutely.
You say something with it's the same as Republicans and Democrats. You say something against one side or the other, and these people are so mind melted against Republicans, against the opposite or Democrats.
Like I said, they're just regurgitating what their side says in different ways over and over and over.
Right.
And then they say you're okay, if you're pro-gun.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
You are a piece of garbage that likes to see kids killed.
Yes.
And if you don't like guns and you're against guns and you want regulation of any kind, you are
anti-gun.
You're anti-freedom.
Yeah.
You're
anti-freedom,
against, you're anti-American.
Anti-Second Amendment.
Yes.
Right. I agree.
So it's there is no middle ground. So
right. So as always, you know me, I like to put stuff out on Facebook and I said, this has to change. We need security. We're going to get into what I think.
Yeah.
But man, both sides.
Yeah.
And as soon as somebody in a post responds to me and says that gosh darn Republicans or that gosh darn Democrats, I'm done.
Yeah.
I will not talk to you.
Yeah.
You are an idiot in my mind. As soon as you throw those two things out, you're a moron. I had two guys unfriend me. They're just random people.
Yeah.
Because I said, sir, the second you said Republican or the second you say Democrat, you're done. Because you can't have a conversation.
Because you're taking your side. You're sticking your feet in the ground.
Yes.
You don't want to have a conversation.
Nope,
it's just, these are what people told me.
Right.
This is what I'm going with. Right. And I don't care what you think.
Right. So remember, I have 3 people in the schools right now.
Yeah.
Soon to be 4.
Yeah.
Right. Because Ben's going to be going to school. So this sits heavy with me.
Absolutely.
How do you stop school shootings? Okay. And this is my thought. You're not going to be able to take the guns away from people. It's not going to happen.
Bad guys are still going to get guns.
Bad guys are going to get guns, but I'm even saying with the Second Amendment, you can't as soon as
you really truly don't want guns and you want to go see what happened in Australia.
Well,
they just took everybody's guns away and burned them. And do they still have gun violence?
Yes. Now it's not as bad, but it's still going to happen.
Yeah.
And then you have the other side, which is let's arm everybody.
Yeah.
Right. Arm everybody. Keep going the same way. which is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My wife cannot have a gun.
Yeah, you have students that steal stuff from teachers all the time. What if they steal a gun?
Yeah, but I'm just worried about, like, you can't ask a kindergarten teacher to carry around a freaking gun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't do it.
It's bonkers. Yeah.
So I start thinking in my head, how do you do it?
Yeah, me too.
What? And I said this online, and people started throwing all kinds of articles from like Newsweek and all this.
Yeah.
I don't care what Newsweek. I think all those things, I think they are all jaded,
they've taken a side,
right?
Yeah.
So you need to lock all the doors, which they are now.
Yeah.
Lock all the doors.
Yeah.
Bar the doors, and I don't care. Bar the doors, the windows on the first floor, and no access, no way into that school.
Yeah.
Which the doors are locked, but you can still get in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can bust the window. You need to have one way in, one way out,
Metal detector,
and a metal detector, and an armed guard.
The other thing too, I was thinking is, why don't you create a position within the schools that's, and I'm not saying that
they have resource officers.
I know.
Yeah.
The resource officer, we were at field day today. I got
Officer
injured.
Lou.
I got injured
look at his dunk tank injury while we take. Look at that. That's from the dunk tank from the kids.
But it was from Lucas. But Officer Lou was awesome. He was there the whole time. Yeah. But I'm talking like
you want an armed guy.
I want an armed assault rifle, literally a position at the school that every school hires one that is all about security. If an event happens, metal detecting the kids if they come in.
Body armor?
Not full body armor, but like this guy is, I don't know if you go like ex-military, whatever, but like I want a new position created to plan if anything goes wrong, you go to that guy.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get into the other stuff too, because this is multi-level. So you have one way in, one way out.
Yeah.
Okay. People were saying, well, that's not going to stop they're going to smuggle guns in if they want to shoot it. Well, no shit.
Yeah.
They're going to, if they want, but it's going to prevent what happened. It might have prevented what happened in Lowville.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would have prevented that.
Yeah.
Or
if they metal detected him.
If it stops one freaking possible gun thing, it's worth it. But oh, sorry, go ahead.
There's a couple things.
Yeah.
So number one is, if you like, how many shootings happen in urban schools where they metal detect everybody? So that would, and I don't know, I'm asking, what's that statistic compared to suburban where you're having these school shootings? That's number one. Number two would be, why did that guy attack an elementary school?
Well, he was messed up in the head. He shot his grandma first and then went to the elementary school.
But why did he go to the elementary school? Why didn't he go to the high school?
I have no clue.
Path of least resistance.
Yeah, probably.
He's so much of a little bitch that he goes to an elementary school. If he goes to the high school, you could have a bunch of high schoolers jump him. Yeah. But he goes to an elementary school, least amount of people, nobody can put up a fight because it's little kids. Right. Like you are, dude. Yeah, that's why. So you put an armed guard there with an AR, they're gonna think twice.
That's what I'm saying.
They're gonna think twice.
And they're like, oh, they can still smuggle guns in. They can still do
smuggle. What do you mean smuggle?
Well, people were like, somebody that was arguing with me about the metal detectors.
Yeah,
they're like, well, they could just leave a window open after school and have their buddy throw a gun. I'm like, well, if obviously, but again, it's like lock the windows, lock the doors.
Yeah.
If somebody wants it that bad, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
but again, there could be people right now.
Yeah.
Robbing a bank, you have all these security, they're still going to try it.
But it's a no, you're not allowed to have guns. So that the only person who has a gun at the school is a resource officer. Right.
But I'm saying you can't prevent everything, but maybe you could stop one or two and it makes it worth it.
Yeah.
The other thing is something that, and again, if you're watching, you could watch this episode. We had it last Friday. We had Stephanie Hahn on.
Yeah.
They got to do stuff for mental health with these freaking kids.
Yeah. There's obviously an issue in America with
mental health.
Yeah.
And we went into deep conversation with Stephanie Hahn, who teaches, she's a master's degree or a PhD.
And then you see the politicians who are like, it's not a mental health issue. I think it is. I think it's both.
If you're going to go shoot your grandma and shoot little kids, it's a mental health issue.
There's obviously something wrong. Yeah. It's not just a gun issue. Yeah, I agree. Guns are part of the issue. What do you think about regulating guns at all? Do you think?
I think, okay, so in again, people on Facebook know I hunt. Mm-hmm. They know I have got, they know that. Yeah. So they automatically, Republicans, Luke, and we know and it's like, no, I think every gun sold should have a background check.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't care about your second. If you are mentally unstable,
Yeah,
you should not be able to buy a gun.
Yeah.
If you have a record, right?
Yeah.
I don't think like you have a record of violence, something like that.
But what about the person who would say, "Oh, they'll just go get it from their dad, or they'll go get it from their friend"?
It's fine. They are, but
Yeah.
at least you're going to prevent the guy from
Yeah.
going to a market or
Yeah.
going to a thing. Like you can go to
Yeah.
a market right now, no background check and buy a gun.
Yeah.
Like there needs to be checks. Now, when I go and buy a gun from Fin Feathers and Fur, I get run through, they run your background check,
Yeah.
they do all the stuff to clear it up. But the problem is they have these markets and stuff.
Yeah.
You are never going to stop crime all the way.
No
matter what you do.
Yeah.
You're going to put up speeding signs, you're going to get speeding tickets. Example, people are still going to speed.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to make gun laws. People are still going to get guns. They're still going to shoot people.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. It's preventing.
I think the other thing too, I don't think you go full blown Australia and
it'll never happen.
And just
Yeah,
tear
it'll never
apart ARs and burn them all.
Never happen.
I think though, you got to do something like, okay, if you want military grade assault rifles,
right?
I think you got to like make licensing and make it really hard to get.
I agree.
Like you put them through classes, you track the gun, you like, and that's the only way. And I'm the type, I'm like the libertarian in me is like, I don't want to tell anybody
what happens
do,
though?
And I hate
so here's what they say. So then they'll say, oh, they're going to track them. And you know what some of these people say, right? With like these crazy gun right advocates.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not taking my gun because when the government tries to take over and turn us in, we're going to fight back, or the Chinese come.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're not going to do anything.
The first thing, the first thing the government will do when they take over is they're going to go door to door and try and take your guns. Absolutely. Right. But when
they
that
don't
happens,
want a record. That's one of the things they say. They don't want a record.
The thing is, dude, the only way you like at some point, our founding fathers didn't know that technology was going to advance, that like they didn't know.
right.
Like at some point you have to admit that they weren't smart enough to realize that there would be this technology. Like they didn't think when revolvers were invented in Texas.
Right.
They didn't think that revolvers were going to be useful because they thought it was inefficient.
Right.
We'll just reload our musket. Why would we need a revolver?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they're old and set in their ways.
Right.
But then it ends up taking off.
Yeah.
So it's like, how did they know that technology is like to the point where you can
classic Family Guy thing? Do you guys ever see the classic Family Guy where it's the founding fathers are talking to the family guys and they're like, the right to bear arms. I don't understand how this could possibly, and the bear arms are at the top. I mean, it is what it is.
But if you get it to the point where you can still have your freedoms, but you just have to take like more tests in order to get the next level gun up. If you want it automatic, go crazy. You can you just got to take the test.
This is a good comment.
Get the licensing for it.
And again, if you guys have comments, or certainly comment. I mean, we're not going to criticize you. You can have your opinion, but I might criticize you. But yeah, go ahead. Comment if you have comments. What are we saying? Are we stupid? Are we dumb? Do you have an opinion? Let us know. When my kids were young, I used to search the bags on their way out of the house every morning. So just for taking toys and anything you weren't supposed to have. Their parents need help to see. And that is the problem right there.
Yeah.
Jose, a lot of the parents, and this is something with my wife teaching, I'm really grasping now. All kids, even in Poland, you know what I mean?
Don't have the same level of parenting.
Have the level of parenting.
Yeah.
Don't have parents.
Yeah.
Broken homes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
foster kid, they don't have the support that we had.
Well, why did the kid kill his grandma?
Right.
And his mom and dad.
They didn't have the support. Like you don't even know where his mom and dad were.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, they didn't say anything. So it's like you don't have that support, and people don't, everybody in Poland lives a sheltered life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like some of those kids in Poland, they can't even get lunch.
Yeah.
And I was told, buy lunch. Okay, there we go.
Go to Allison's comment.
Gun control. Why are military grade weapons able to be purchased by anyone? Shouldn't those be in the hands of active military members while on duty protecting our country? I've never even held a gun, so I'm by far an expert, but surely you don't need one to hunt or for target practice. See, and that is where we get into the sticky conversation of gun control, and that's the Second Amendment.
So that's when someone, Allison, who has held guns, like an ex-military guy, would be like, I just like collecting guns.
Which you're
like I used them. I enjoy collecting guns. I enjoy shooting at targets. And if anybody ever breaks into my house, I'm going to blow them off the planet.
Right.
That's what the normal gun person says.
The normal person.
Normal gun person says, which, on one hand, you want to protect, like, I want to say, dude, you know, you do you. You're an ex-military guy. If anybody on the planet has that gun, I want it to be you because you know what you're doing. You're a good
trained,
dude. You're going to protect
a nice, trained, stable, mentally stable person.
Yeah. Right. So you want that guy to be able to get that gun, but then at the same time, it's like you don't want it to get into the hands of the bad people that have no reason to have it. But how do you?
They're out there already.
Yeah.
So it's like if you stop it now, those people they're still going to be out there.
And that's why
people are going to get guns.
And that's why I say if that military guy wants to get that gun, like he would have no problem taking like exams, taking classes, you know, doing all that
make them
stuff.
earn it, right?
Make them earn it. And then they can say, oh, hey, I can still collect any gun I want. I just got to go through all this BS to get it, but you can still get it, you know, but you have to put in the time to do it. It's not easy.
So here's the problem. So like 20 years ago, I want to say Columbine or Sandy Hook or one of those happened.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I mean, you were freaking 8.
I remember Sandy Hook.
It's like a bunch of kids.
Chardon. Remember Chardon?
Yeah. But Columbine was like 2 or 3 kids went in. They had a plan. They had guns.
Yeah.
Killing people. Right. Killing people. And it's been 20 years. And nothing has really changed.
Yeah.
You have some more locked doors. Yeah. And so I started thinking, why has nothing changed? Because you have Democrats and you have Republicans, and one is backed by one side, one is backed by the other,
and money,
and
too
huge amounts of money, and lobbyists, who are paying these people to say,
I think should be gone,
right?
I think paying
who are paying these people to get one way or the other, right? Yeah. So all it does is you have a shooting like that, you think, oh, it's going to change. Schools lock their doors, maybe some schools throw some shit. Nothing else happens.
Yep,
because these assholes in government who don't, I'm telling you, Isaac.
Yep.
Federal government, they're pocketing the money from their lobbyists, from their voting,
and
to get it,
and just taking their feet
and they
in.
fight, and nothing happens while we are all in here. You know what I mean? And just and it sucks, and I hate it.
See, and that's why the government sucks.
You know, and it's like
we can all agree on that.
Exactly.
And there's nothing we can do because they will never, ever vote to take that money out of their own pocket.
Never.
They will never vote, and they will never agree on it.
Never.
Ever.
So everybody, what you have to open your eyes and see this.
Yeah.
See that the Republicans and the Democrats are all connected to the same thing. Yeah. Right? It's 2 wings on a bird. They're all connected. I've said that a couple times. Open your eyes and see that and know it is going to take people at a local level to protect our schools.
Yeah.
Right? Decisions at a local level. I had people last night on Facebook saying, well, we need federal funding. We're not going to get federal freaking funding because these guys are being assholes in the middle.
How hard would it be to, if you're Poland, you want to hire a new position where you have a guy in there with an assault rifle, whatever. You want to raise money. You want to raise money to do it.
I'll do it tomorrow.
I think everybody would pay for that.
Everybody would.
I think everybody would be cool with it.
Mostly everybody. If you want to do donations for a security system.
Pay for it, Luke?
Some people.
What's that age range?
Oh, well, you might get them. Grandmas and grandpas might do it.
That's true.
I bet if we started a fund for a metal detector at the elementary school, they do it. We'd be able to do it. So,
do Poland cops even have access to that type of weaponry? They obviously don't carry on them, but if God forbid a situation arises, I think they have shotguns and stuff in their trunks.
Yeah, we'd have to ask. I don't know if they have that kind of access. We'd have to ask the. Oh, that's a good question. But again, if they don't, they need to get it.
See, and that's the thing. You could have a hired position where they have access to. They carry an assault rifle on there, number one, and then they have direct line of communication with SWAT saying, "Dude, get here now."
Right. But the problem is so and again, one of the arguments I was getting was, well, what if they just come in guns blazing and kill the guy? I was like, again, at least you have a guy there. There's a chance to stop him.
And they're going to think twice because they're going to have to create a scheme to jump this dude. Right now, they don't have to do any of that.
No. They could literally, they could just go like, okay, the door's locked and there's a buzzer. Yeah. Bust the door and you're in.
God forbid, but you have a police officer right now with a handgun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have a dude shoot open the door and then go in with an AR. Like, you know what I mean?
Crazy. Yeah. So, all right, hold on. We got some comments here.
And the other thing too,
hold on, our friend Lori's saying something.
does not
Technology
replace-
does not replace quality connection for all of us. I perceive the issues are seriously related directly to that. Technology does not replace quality connection. She's talking about like video games.
in a healthy way.
You're talking video games.
Technology does not replace a quality connection for all of us. I perceive the issues are seriously related directly to the gap. No, not everybody.
So like talking
I
on your
think
phone.
she's talking.
Like
I think she's
Facebook?
talking about people communicating the issues are
technologies. You got to explain that more.
replace the
You got
quality
to
connection.
explain that more.
Yeah. So like you
Sorry.
have an issue, right? You take to Facebook and you're so quick to like try and destroy
Oh,
someone for their
100%.
opinion, and you're not going to
Yep.
look them in the face and have
Yeah,
a conversation
100%,
with
100%.
why, you know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah.
'Cause you don't wanna-
That's
you
100%.
can't look anybody
Well,
in the eyes. Yeah.
Well, because you get all these freaking
and
people with
even
Facebook.
I'm guilty of it.
Oh, I
Like,
do
you
it all
act
the
like
time.
we act like huge tough guys, but
Yeah.
it's like if you were to actually talk to them,
Yeah.
you would have a conversation
Yeah.
with them.
But
Yeah.
again, the people on the other end, if they were in this room right now, they
Yeah.
wouldn't be talking like that. to
And
us
the other
either.
thing too is I think that also drives the unhealthy.
You got it.
Yeah. I also think that drives the mental illness too, because you think,
Yep.
like, oh my God, all these people, like I said something, all these
Yep.
people hate me now.
Yep.
When in reality, if they were in front of you actually
never
talking
do.
to you, they
No.
would not be that much of
Yep.
an asshole. And then that makes you get in your own head and like, oh my God, all these people hate me. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go, do something stupid.
Yeah.
So,
And again, people are so much more willing to just dig their feet in the ground
Yeah.
online because you don't have to deal with them.
Yeah.
You can block them and unfriend them,
Yeah.
and you never see them again. So, which happened to me last night by a couple people, which is fine. All right, let's see here. I've seen this posted a couple times. Fred says 131 schools is the U.S. 54 billion Ukrainian aid bill. They just sent a bunch of money over. $412,000 to every school in the United States for private security and security upgrades.
I've seen this posted like 40 times.
40 times. So the government actually want to stop this. I don't know how true any of this is, but we'll go with it. They'll happily do press releases, stand on the graves over dead kids, and assist gun control instead of actually.
See,
again,
It's your Fred. That right there. Can you see how it's like this is point A, this is point B. They will happily do press releases and stand on the graves of our dead kids.
Why you gotta
It's like
say that?
this is point A, this is point B. They hate kids and are
Yeah.
glad that they're dead.
When-
And now it's like that's not true. Not everybody who disagrees and has the opposite opinion
Why?
of you thinks that the kids should
But
die.
this post,
Yeah.
and again, I know the point you're trying to get
Yeah,
at,
I get
right?
it. Yeah.
But you wouldn't say that last sentence to people if you were in the same room with them. Maybe you would. I don't know. That those people, like, you're going to stand on that. Like, you're not going
Yeah.
to say that to somebody. And this right here is a great example of why Facebook,
Yeah.
everybody's getting so divided
Yep.
on the left and the
You're
right.
You're gonna bump my camera.
Sorry,
over
I'm
there.
freaking emotional. Right?
And that's
Um,
nothing against you personally.
No, nothing,
Fred.
Fred. But we're
That's
just using
an
it as an example. So yeah, I get it though, Fred. I do.
He actually said, "I know you're right." Really, Fred? Are you sure?
Wait, he said
Go
it
down. He said, "Oh, I know that you're right." Really?
right? To Fred.
God damn it, Fred! I like you, man. You know,
Wait, you're
that's
not
the first. That's
Fred,
the first step, Fred.
Fred's not going to fight with us. I was
You're
getting ready to go to war with
Yeah.
Fred, and he just said, "No, I know you're. No, you know what, guys, you're right."
That's the first step.
Oh, awesome! I would have given Fred a hug.
That's Fred. That's the first. Buddy.
I've never met Fred before. I like him. See how nice that was.
Yeah.
Let's see here. In Texas, there was no officer at the school, and there was an unlocked door. See, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not good. And then if you're a member of that
Yeah.
community, you know that.
Yeah,
You know you have
that's a
zero
problem.
resistance. Yeah.
We have 2 resource officers in Poland, I believe.
Yeah.
And we have 2 schools, 2 resource. I mean, but resource officer lose all. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
what are they going to do if somebody goes in there with a freaking?
Go to
assault rifle?
Will's comment.
All
there.
right, Will.
Military and police grade weapons do require special permit, check, wait time to purchase legally. Keyword is legal.
All right.
If this is someone's ultimate goal, they will find a way to get there.
Right.
School security needs to be more robust. Think about everything that is protected with high caliber
what I
weapons,
was saying.
airports, bank
Yep.
stores. Absolutely, man. My boys are worth more than anything
Yep.
in those places
Exactly.
combined. Yeah, that's our future.
So-
the kids are our future.
In my post that I kind of did, and it's on my personal page, I didn't put it on the MLO Bros. Think about, and I said this, I mentioned these just like he did. Who has metal detectors? Name some.
Airport,
Airports,
do banks.
games,
Yeah,
NFL
where
games?
There's a bunch of people
Were there-
together.
Okay. Where else? You think anything else? Courthouse?
Court.
You go to the courthouse?
Yeah.
You guess where else has
I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on metal detectors.
Congress, state, and federal buildings
Those
all
bastards.
have that. So why do those assholes
Yeah.
get to have metal detectors and armed guards
Yeah.
and everything else, and our kids, which they have been a history of shootings now.
Yeah.
You can't put a metal detector in for our kids. But those dicks, excuse my mouth, was that PG-13? Starting to push it.
I think we prefer penis here.
Okay, those penises, those penises in Congress, get protected.
You're right.
Dude, it's messed up. It is messed up.
Hospitals have them.
Hospitals have, the Cavelli Center hospitals.
The doctors have enough money to buy those.
Why does a hospital have them? Why does a hospital have it and a school doesn't?
And the thing is, I don't buy the excuse that some people make of like, how are we like? We can barely afford this.
Bullshit.
Why we can't afford metal detectors in a car? Like, I think the community would gladly pay for
it's
that.
worth it.
I think
it's
the community
worth it.
would
Okay,
gladly pay for
and
that.
then people were saying, "Well, you're still not going to set every fine." I don't care. We're not trying to stop every. I mean, it'd be great if you could stop every possible school shooting.
I just want them. If you have that criminal, like you're trying to attack a place and take out as many people as possible.
Yeah.
If there is a guy there with an assault rifle that is going to combat you, his job is to stop you. You're gonna think twice. Yeah. That's all I want.
Why don't you rob a bank? Why don't you go rob a bank right now?
Because they'll catch me because they have security cameras and.
Is that why you don't go rob a bank? Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you go try and take guns out of the police station?
Because I'll get shot.
Oh, okay, really?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just checking.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
And then I'm the type of guy who, like I said before, I don't want to tell people what to do, and I don't want to take freedoms away, especially ones that like our founding fathers made. And if you do something like Australia, and you take away everybody's assault rifles, right?
Right.
Anytime you give the government something.
Has there been shootings in Australia though since they took away the rifle?
I'm sure there still has. They're just like, but that's not the point. The point is that if you give the government something, do you think you're ever going to get that back? Do you think you're ever going to get that freedom back?
Never get it back.
So we have to be extremely careful with giving away something because there is 100% chance those bastards are never going to give you that freedom back.
Oh, no way.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they'll be able to in Congress say, well, there were all those shootings, so we can't give you these guns back. Sorry, it's just how it is.
Yeah, no.
Boom, and there's no combating it. There's no talking about it. It's over.
Yeah.
So if you want to give that up, it's gone forever.
Yeah, there's a couple movies like that where they gave a chancellor absolute power of the Imperial Senate.
Yeah, do it.
The Galactic Senate, and the next thing
I'm pretty sure he became the Senate.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. What are we saying? Absolutely for Robert.
Absolutely for freedoms. What happened?
Oh, he's talking about the freedom thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Yeah.
The government should be treated like the kid in the group project that is absolutely terrible at everything. And you give him like, hey, you're going to draw this picture and then we're going to handle the important stuff.
Yeah.
And like, so like big government should be given the absolute least amount of things to worry about because they suck at everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Matt Roth, this is good. Matt Roth says we need to invest in law enforcement. Schools all over the country are short on help. A lot of it, school buildings are staffed by only one officer. So that's
and I'm not trying to take anything away from the officer. Like
the
officers, I love the officers at the school. They're awesome. But like, I think it needs an upgrade.
Oh, 100%.
100% needs an upgrade.
What are they supposed to do if someone comes in there with an assault rifle?
Yeah.
Or a kid smuggles in a gun. You can't prevent
it. And the other thing too is how much training do those guys get to actually defend that type of situation? And you will never, like, if it happens in Poland, it's going to be a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
And then like that guard is not, or that officer is not going to be expecting it. But if you have somebody who's trained 24/7,
that's your job.
Or trained and has taken all the courses and takes regular training in case something happens, that dude's going to know what to do.
Yep. Lisa Williams, here's a good point. Shoe bomber unsuccessfully tried to detonate a bomb in his shoe on a flight, and now we all have to take our shoes off. Hundreds of kids die in school shootings, and the only change is the lockdown drills we know. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
So here's my points. Robert, real fast. The state's meant to control the federal government. Not yeah, exactly. That doesn't happen though. So here's my point. I am now pro metal detector.
Yeah.
Pro locking the schools, and people are like, it's gonna be a prison. You know what? I'd rather have some bars in the first floor windows and one way in and one way out, and my kid alive.
I don't think you have to do bars on the first floor windows. I think you can get like bulletproof windows.
Okay, even better. Whatever.
Yeah.
And it's gonna cost money.
Yeah,
it's gonna cost money, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's gotta happen. It has to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna push for it. And you know, Isaac, when I push for something, I'm gonna push for it. So help me if I got to go in front of this Poland school board.
Yeah.
And again, it's gonna have to be at local levels. You know, everyone's gonna have to get on their schools about this.
Yeah. Why don't we like and I hate the excuse that they're gonna give you is, well, nobody else is doing it. Why should we do
bullshit?
It? Let's be the first ones, guys.
Yeah.
Let's be better. That's what they're gonna give
talked to the soup. I talked to texting the soup back and forth, and he said it's under conversation.
Yeah.
It's going to be under conversation because if they don't have something in place by I'm going to give them until July. If they don't have something like that in place by July, not even something. And I'm not talking about drills. I'm not talking about extra. I mean, it's got to be protective.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start having fights with the school again. And I don't want to because we've been having a very good relationship with the school board. But there's got to be a decision made, and you got to protect those freaking kids.
Yeah.
It's not happening. Just locking the doors. It's not happening. Drills. What is a drill going to do when somebody goes in there with a gun and you're going to lock all the doors, all the teachers get lost. People are still going to get shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's going to be, it's time. Okay, here we go.
Are you promoting protecting schools with metal detectors? All schools and all communities should be equipped. Many communities still need assistance. Are people willing to pay? I think they, honestly,
I really think they would.
Melanie, I think they would. I think if you said, hey, this is your kids,
right,
and we need to raise money to get this position made and also have metal detectors and work on our security, and that fund will go to nothing but those things, I think people would pay.
I agree.
I 100% think people would pay.
Yep, 100%. And I also think the freaking local governments, and I think the federal, and I think the state should be chipping in for this crap.
Yeah, but they won't.
They won't, but I think they should. I really think they should. I mean, we give them tax money. Why are we not doing that?
Yeah.
And if they're not going to, I think, again, you have to push it. Let's see here. We should have Robert on. He's a freaking he was in
military guy.
He was ex-military. I think he was wasn't he in the state government?
I don't know.
At one point, or he ran for it, and now he's in the township of Austin.
He ran for it. Yeah, he's in Austin.
They do that on military base and have that have schools like Okinawa, Japan.
For what?
I think he's talking about the security stuff. Okay. People may not like the look, but it's what needs to be done. Exactly. Yeah. Another argument. There we go. Allison Madison. Exactly. Allison Madison says, I'd rather go overboard and have all protections in place, never need it, than have a situation. Right. Exactly.
So we were thinking about it too. And we thought about this argument today, and Luke and I were actually talking about it. The argument of, well, aren't the kids going to be scared of the guy with the gun? The guy with the assault rifle walking through the school?
Or going into security and bulletproof glass on aren't they going to be scared?
Yeah, that's such a big change. Well, at first, it's going to be a big change. And yes, kids are going to get scared, but then those kids are going to grow up and graduate. And then the new incoming kids are just going to be used to it. They're going to think nothing. They're just going to be like, oh, it's because we're safe.
Dude, the 6 months in, the kids won't even notice it anymore. They'll just be a regular day.
That's going to be an adjustment period.
Absolutely. You know what? And what'll happen is parents will bitch about it and then make it just like the freaking mass in the school.
Yeah.
It wasn't the freaking kids complaining. It was the parents.
Yeah.
It's the same freaking thing. Same thing. There must be money out there as animal charity, and Boardman is currently seeking ARP funds from Boardman trustees and orders. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, ARP funds, COVID funds, all that stuff. There's funds. There's grants out there for all of this, even to pay for officers in school. So there's got to be money out. Like, how did Youngstown City has metal detectors?
Yeah,
right. I mean, the state fund. They had to get them from somewhere.
And I would love to see that. Well, I wouldn't love to see it, but I would want to see the statistics of gun violence in those schools versus gun or school shootings in suburban areas, and why. So why is the gunman going into why is it always suburban schools?
Well, it's like a track record. It's always the typical. It's like I don't know if there's ever been one with a like non-Caucasian person. Honestly, I think it's always like the white kids that go in and shoot up the schools.
Areas.
Yeah, always.
Well, I think that's a mental health issue.
100%. It's 100%. It is 100%.
Yeah.
Look, Fred just said. I know I had to pick up the masks. Fred just said, "Look at how they use those mask bullshit the kids got." Exactly. But again, Fred, I mean, dead serious. If you would have removed the parents from the mask equation at school,
they would have just done it.
Nobody would have cared. My kids didn't care at all.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. It was all the parents, and that's why if you want to go find some old fun shows that we did.
Yeah, when you freaked out last year when I was at the beach.
Yeah,
when I was on my honeymoon,
I slept on the couch for like a week after that.
I'm like, dude, Luke, look at the ocean.
There's a podcast out there. If you guys watch, it's an old. You have to dig. I pissed off like half of Poland.
It's about a year ago.
Yeah,
it was in October.
Yeah. Oh,
September.
I pissed off like half of the community because I was screaming at some mom brought their kid up and the kid did like a speech in front of the school board and it was like my man and I'm just
How much of that was really the kid?
It was all the mom, and the mom was the one that was holding the sign up at the school board meeting, like mask choke kids, and I was like, "What a freaking!"
And then the guy said he was going to beat us up.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the guy called it.
Tried to tell him to come in and talk to us and have a couple.
He never showed up,
and he said, "No, I want you to meet me at my MMA gym so I can kick your ass."
I'm like, dude, can we just go golfing? like, why do we
have a couple beers and talk about it? No, I want you to come to my MMA gym so I can kick your ass.
You want to arm wrestle?
Why don't you come to us? Why do we have to go to your gym?
Yeah, exactly. Why are we gonna go? Why are we gonna fight? People may not like the look of what needs to be done. Our schools would protect the kids. Unfortunately, happened in Texas and on Tuesday, but everyone will be thankful. Side, not my kids played flag football again. Team Robert coached. Credit nice guy, good dude. It's talking about Santos.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, good guy. Let's sell the plexiglass to be bought for every school back to China and buy metal detectors. There you go. I am in on the metal detectors. I really am. I'm 100% in. And I know it's going to suck. You're going to have lines at the school. We'll get through it. You know what I mean?
I think it's just got to be something. Yeah.
It'll adjust.
Adapt.
Adjust.
Be something moving into the future.
You have to do it. You have to do it. I really believe if Lowville would have had a metal detector, the kid would have gotten a gun in.
I know
they wouldn't have gotten a gun in
the old South or the new South Range building, right?
Yeah.
The way they built the school is much more security savvy.
One way in, the main two buildings.
The main three doors, one door to get into elementary, one to get into middle, one to get into high school, and then it was literally just the high school was two hallways on top of each other, with cameras at each corner, and then the doors at the end stay locked,
right?
But
you could have they're gonna we have cameras, we have locked doors. That's not gonna stop somebody if they have a gun. You need, if a kid wants to bring a gun in. If a kid brings a gun in like they did in Louisville, how is a camera going to stop it?
And it was it's like two-way doors too. So there's two doors you got to get through.
Right.
So dude, you could literally just put a metal detector in the middle part and just have the kids walk through it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But what about the school we went into today?
Yeah.
We did the dunk tank,
Yeah.
They have one. Now the doors were locked. We had to buzz in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Put a metal detector right there.
And the other thing too that's kind of scary is we walked around, there was all those kids in that field, and I couldn't help but think about if somebody was here, they could just start spraying.
Yeah,
there's kids everywhere.
But again, if you're out there, somebody said that, what's going to prevent people from shooting into school buildings?
Yeah,
you're not going to stop that. You hate to say it, just outside drive-by shoot. We get driven by right now.
Yeah.
You're not going to stop.
How many drive-by school shootings have there been?
I don't know.
And how much damage it really caused?
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be better than inside the building. One bad person is all it takes. It's over, and you stop them at the door and not even let them in get in. Whether it be a metal, exactly. I think you need clear backpacks. Again, that's a great idea, 100%. But again,
it really does get closer and closer to prison, doesn't it?
It does, but
it's like a school dress code. You just give them.
You got to do it.
And
you have to do it.
Yeah.
I do not want another kid to die at any school in Ohio, Texas. You have to do it. Every school has to do it. Be like that. And I know it sucks, but this is the fucking world we live in.
Yeah,
that was Pete. That's R. But this is the world we live in.
It's our podcast.
Yeah, it's our podcast. This is the world we live in.
Well, 30 people that are watching. We're at 58 minutes. We're gonna talk for a little bit more, but if you could, please go down below and give us a like, a thumbs up, a heart, something. We only have 15 people that like it right now. We love all of you to give us a like. We'd appreciate it. Or an angry face if you're mad at our opinions. We don't care. It all goes to the same place.
Look, Barb says with so many glass windows in older schools, any idea the cost for bulletproof glass? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. You do the first floor, bar them up. I don't care.
Oh, we got an angry face. Thank you.
Oh, who angry?
Who is
Who
it?
angry face?
Who was it? We can check
Who
that.
just angry face?
I didn't tell you. We can check
It was
Deshaun.
Deshaun, you little rascal.
You rascal. He was trying to play. Didn't tell him though that we could see who it was.
Deshaun.
Nice try, Deshaun.
Deshaun. You know where you need to go with that angry fist. You need to go to the freaking Shell on Market.
the Shell on Market.
That's where you need to take that angry
I'm
fist.
pretty sure the Shell on Market has a bulletproof glass and bars on the windows.
All right. I went to Louisville in the 80s and 90s, and you got to look at what changed since then. The TV, family structure, music, video games is all to blame for it. We made millennials. It's your fault, Isaac.
Fred, I played video games my whole life. I love video. I played all of them.
I did too.
Shooting,
yep.
The bad ones, the good ones. I played all of them.
Yeah.
And I don't have any issues. So I don't think it's that. You could argue. Hey, go back to Fred's comment. Go back to Fred's comment.
Sorry.
You could argue, Fred, that it was in fact the way we were raised and the parents' fault. So it could be your generation. Your generation.
I don't know. Fred doesn't look that old, though.
Raising the kids of today that didn't do a good job in raising their kids, and their kids grew up to be idiots because their parents were idiots.
Right.
And that's the problem. Not video games. If they are getting into all these bad things and they can't handle it, it's because their parents weren't there to tell them no.
You can't blame video games.
No.
Because, and I hate that. I really don't.
Yeah.
Oh, violence descent. I don't believe that because everybody plays video games.
Yeah.
Everybody.
40
and under.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but a lot.
And like,
40 and under play video games.
Obviously, there are rating systems on video games. You can't go into a store and buy an M game as a 12-year-old.
All the kids play Fortnite where you shoot people.
That's 13 to buy it, to actually buy it. But their parents buy it for them.
But I'm saying,
but if that kid can't handle it, the parent should not let them play it if they can't handle it yet.
Right.
But some kids just get their hands on it and play it. So it's the parents' fault.
Deshaun just said, oh, Deshaun, I love you. Look at
Tupac is alive.
Maybe it's rap music. I play Tupac.
Tupac's here. He's not dead. He never died. Tupac's still alive.
Luke, how many people watching were afraid of getting trouble for? Yeah, we squirt gun, like a squirt gun to school.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Do that. No way. No way.
I remember you weren't allowed to bring any kind of weapons for like Halloween.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Look, Fred just said I'm 4, so he's younger than me. I was gonna say you look at his picture. Yeah,
I don't think that's 100% of the problem. I think it's more.
He's agreeing with you.
The way kids,
dude, Fred is like, Fred's agreeing with us on it. Yeah, it's the family structure.
Yeah,
100%. Tupac was the man. Yeah, I again, Maggie being a teacher in Poland, kids come in without coats in winter because their parents are working, and the kid, like a kindergartner, has to get on the bus by himself.
Yeah,
like it crushes you when you hear that. You know what I mean? Or my dad is working, so my grandma, you know what I mean? And it's like, good God, and it's like we've given coats to kids,
and it's not a new thing either.
Yeah,
it's not a new thing, people. It was in the original Willy Wonka when the Oompa Loompas do their dance. Who's to blame? The mother and the father. Oompa Loompa Doompa Dee Doo. I have another message for you.
Did you really just
the Oompa Loompas got it right, bro. It was the parents' fault. Those kids were spoiled brats, fell into the chocolate fountain because they're parents.
That's amazing.
The parents' fault.
That
not
is
the kids.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. So next week, dude, speaking about stuff. So next week, you guys want to tune in for next week. Tuesday. Anybody ever go to the Pole and Swim Club? You go to the Pole and Swim Club?
I'm still trying to save up money to buy all the swim club stock so that I can only swim in it by myself and nobody else can get stock.
So Tuesday, we're going to the swim club, or the swim club's coming here for Poland. If you've never been to this Pole and Swim Club, I want to ask them: do you have to live in Poland to go to the Pole and Swim Club?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
That totally sounds like a Poland thing.
Does,
so I'm gonna bet.
it?
Yeah,
I'm
gonna bet.
Let's take dips.
They probably.
Yes or no?
Address.
Yes or no?
We need like a poll button that we can poll everybody watching.
Yeah, we do need one.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we do need one. Wait. Oh, here's Deshaun. He went to Rain High School, and we had to walk through detectors and transfer to Liberty High School. They had metal detectors. Yeah, exactly. In the wrong SC.
In the wrong SC.
Oh, at Liberty High School, you didn't have to walk through. So Rain, you did, and then he transferred to Liberty, and you didn't. School, yeah. See, I think they all should have them, right?
Yeah.
I know it's an expense, but I mean, come on. Olympia looks inside is too close up.
I'm telling you.
So
Maybe
next
Lupa's
week
right.
with the Poland Swim Club, question of the day for the Poland Swim Club is: do you have to live in Poland? Be there?
I'm betting.
It's super nice.
I'll bet money you have to live in Poland. They probably look up your address. They're like, oh, Struthers. Get the hell out of our swim club.
Struthers.
It's awfully close to Struthers.
It
too.
is. Oh, it's very close to Struthers. It's very true. And then Thursday, I'm excited for this one. This is my personal.
Uh-huh.
Dan Wright, who's a Poland firefighter, he's also the state, and he's a state game officer. So he's the guy that like drives around and arrests people for like illegally
not
poaching,
fishing without a permit.
Yes, and he does like the
God, I
netting
hate
and
the
stuff.
government.
Yeah, exactly. But he does the netting and like moves. We're not allowed to fish in like public lakes.
Yeah.
That's the guy. Like netting and stuff. We're gonna have him on. And then, dude, June 10th. Everybody, June 10th. You are all invited if you're watching. June 10th is our movie family fun night. I want people from all over.
Yeah.
I want
Youngstown.
people from Youngstown,
I want the
Struthers.
guy who owns the
Canfield.
Market Street Shell gas station to come.
Yes, I want him to come too. June 10th, 5 o'clock. It's a Friday.
Yeah.
Free bounce houses.
Yeah.
Food trucks. A movie. We got a band. Blue Sirens come. I mean, it's gonna be fun. I want everybody to come. I want this to be like the Canfield Fair in Poland. That's what I want this to be.
Absolutely.
Like.
So much. I would love
Middletown. Yeah, we can have New Middletown people come. Yes.
I want it to be such a big thing that like the Poland the village government's like, yeah, you guys can't have a party again. It was too big. Like it was too much.
Yeah, I want to like
we couldn't.
Yeah,
we
like
couldn't.
we
couldn't handle it.
Yeah, a banger of a
How
party.
to get in trouble.
Yeah, I want like yes. That's what I want.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna have. Kid, yes. You know what? Jose, drive a golf cart, please. Right down 224.
And then when they try and stop you, say, "Oh, I thought you guys were trying to like pass. I thought you guys were cool with golf carts now."
Wait, no, we're not. Or you know what's even better? Say, hey, Luke and Isaac said I could.
Yeah.
Tell Truck caught that. All right, that was a good talk. Let us know what you guys think. We're, again, we appreciate you guys all watching. It was a good show, good conversation. I'm pushing security now. This is stupid.
I think it's a good call, man.
I do. If I got to go to a freaking school board meeting and go off, I will. So
I just want an ex-military guy with an eye patch that's just a total badass that just protects the kids and is there. Like
I'll never be allowed to go to a school board meeting, but I just want to. One time, Maggie will never let me go.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because she's a teacher, and I get in there and look. I mean, but my argument here is everybody already knows I'm an idiot, so just let me go.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like this platform we have is already just as good as going to a school board meeting anyway.
Point. I guarantee some of the school board members were watching.
Probably.
I bet the students
I'll never say
watching.
anything.
All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for watching. We are loan officers. Home loans, refinances, purchases.
Want to build that pool out back? Cash out refinance.
Cash out refinance. If maybe you're a borrower, maybe you are a business owner, don't make enough money. We got loans for you there too. We have like loans for everybody.
Self-employed.
Night, Lori. See ya. She always
call
watches.
us.
She's nice.
You want to discuss financing in the future? We'll set you on the path to do that.
Maybe your credit's bad. We can
Yeah,
help you. We'll
we
help
can
you.
help you fix
We'll help you
it.
fix your
We'll
credit.
get your credit up, and then we'll get you into a good loan and take care of you.
That's what we do.
The MLO Bros. NMLS number 1949316. So the other lenders
Thanks,
out there.
Jose.
Don't sue us.
Yeah, and 562-548. Freaking school's over tomorrow. Before we go,
What?
School's.
What are you
over
gonna do
tomorrow.
this summer with your kids?
I'm gonna go to the office. I'm gonna be in here.
You're gonna be in here working?
Yeah, I said, hey, everybody, special hours are now opening starting Monday because school's tomorrow. The MLO Bros office will be open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. I will be here. Please knock before you come in because I'll be sleeping on the couch.
This TV is going to be used for movie night.
It's gonna be like magazine. Can you come up? Nope, real busy in here, honey.
Super busy. I just got so many loans.
I'm so busy.
Honey, interest rates are at 10. You can't have business right now. No, super busy.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody. Good night. We'll see you guys Tuesday next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Don't forget.